Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to Eli Talks Football and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing all right today. It's kind of been of a while since I've been doing some YouTube content, but here I am today. And the good news is that the Premier League is back. And we've got 8 more games to go because this week is game week number 30. Of course, last weekend was the FA Cup quarter-final. I'd like to say congratulations to Crystal Palace, to Aston Villa, to who else? Nottingham Forest and Man City. They are going to Wembley for the semi-final. And interesting enough, one of those teams has never ever won a trophy, and that's Crystal Palace. So of course, they've been to Wembley 3 years ago when they faced Chelsea, but they've lost to us. But they're looking to make it to an FA Cup final. So yeah, so on the third weekend of April, which is of course tomorrow, which is April Fools, we got Nottingham Forest versus Man City and Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. That should be a really good game. Really good game. Of course, Man City did win the FA Cup 2 years ago, but the rest of them, you have to go back to 1950s, the last time Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa have won an FA Cup. But like I said, Palace have never won a trophy, so good luck to them. Really good luck to Crystal Palace, though. So yeah, man. So that's the FA Cup done. Now it's time for the Premier League. So of course we have some big games coming up, but the one that's going to be talking about most is Chelsea versus Tottenham, or as like people like to call it, the Battle of the Bridge. Well, it used to happen 2 times, but not all the time. So yeah, that's a big game, a huge London derby. Both teams are on the back of a loss on their last game week 29. Of course, Fulham lost the London derby against Fulham. Chelsea, my team, lost in the big London derby against Arsenal. So one of them teams are looking to bounce back. So yeah, these teams have faced each other this Thursday. So that's the big game of the week. But before we get things started, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you click the like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well if you are new. Hit the bell notifications so that you never miss any of my YouTube content. And just leave your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below for your predictions and where do you agree or disagree. And I'm going to speak about this at the end of this video. Right, without further ado, I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited. Let's get on to it. So, as you can see, it's on my internet. It says game week 27, but it's actually game week 30. So just ignore the number for that one. But yeah, man, let's get on to this. So as usual, I'll be reading out some stats and all that stuff. So the first game is Bournemouth versus Ipswich Town, of course. Bournemouth lost 2-1 against Brentford, which is good. And of course, Ipswich Town lost 4-2 to Nottingham Forest, on their last game. So these two have faced each other for game week number 30. So as usual, let's see what the stats says. So following their 2-1 win at Portsmouth Road in the reverse fixture, Bournemouth are looking to complete their first league double over Ipswich since 1949/50 in the third division south. Ipswich have only won one of the last 16 away league games against Bournemouth, beating them 3-2 in September 1953. This is their first win since a 2-2 draw in the Championship in November 2014. Both teams have scored in each of the last 8 league games between Bournemouth and Ipswich, stretching back to 1989, while the Cherries have scored in each of the last 11 against the Tractor Boys. Bournemouth have lost 3 of the last 4 Premier League games. This after having lost 3 of the last previous 18 beforehand. At home, the Cherries have lost 3 league games in a row, but never lost 4 consecutive league matches at the Titanic Stadium in the top flight. And finally, Ipswich have lost 8 of the last 9 Premier League games, including the last 4 in the bounce. Not since December 2011 have the Tractor Boys lost more consecutive league matches, last doing so in in the Premier League in April 1995. So there you go. So you can see that some stats do work in Bournemouth's favour, but not a lot. But it actually true. Like Bournemouth have lost at home. In fact, they even lost yesterday against Man City. That was the FA Cup. But to me, I feel like Bournemouth will bounce back because Ipswich Town, look at the table right now. They are now still 18th. They're only 9 points clear of Wolves. So they could potentially stay up. But looking at their form in the last, they've lost 4 times in a row in the last 5. So I feel like Wolves will definitely stay up this season, even though they've been up and down, up and down. I think Wolves will stay up because I don't see where Ipswich Town are going to get their win from. So yeah, for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for Bournemouth win, and I'm going to go for a 3-1 Bournemouth win because I feel like Ipswich Town will score the likes of Lindelöf, but for me, Bournemouth, they're pretty unlucky not to beat Man City yesterday. But the fans were proud of the players, even the manager was proud as well. And I have to say, both tried their best, but we all know that Man City are the favourites to win the FA Cup. So it's unfortunate for Bournemouth, but I mean, that is so wait. In fact, that is weird, Why is it the fact, and also, why is it that Bournemouth, played yesterday, but then they have to play on a Tuesday? That is weird. Wait, let me have a look. That cannot be true. They must play on a Wednesday. Oh yeah, that's true. Sorry, guys. So yeah, sorry, they do play on a Wednesday. They do play on a Wednesday. My bad. My bad. So yeah, Bournemouth against Ipswich Town on Wednesday, which is on a Wednesday. I'm gonna go for 3-1. Sorry, guys. I actually looked on Google and they do play on a Wednesday. My bad. My bad. So yeah, tomorrow's games is actually Wolves versus West Ham. That's the game I should have started off, but still late for that one. But I'm gonna go for 3-1 Bournemouth win. Yeah, Liam Delap to score for Ipswich Town. I'm going to go for Clivert, Lewis Cook, and Semenyo for Bournemouth. So, yeah, those are going to be the goal scorers. So, 3-1 to Bournemouth is going to be my prediction for that game on a Wednesday. But let's focus on tomorrow's game. So, the first game is actually Wolves versus West Ham. Of course, West Ham drew 1-1 against Everton. For Wolves, they did beat Southampton by 2-1. So, there we go. Let's see what the stats says for this game. So Wolves lost this exact fixture 2-1 last season, but haven't lost consecutive home league games against West Ham since 1-3 between 1920 and 1922. West Ham have won 7 of their last 9 Premier League games against Wolves, as many that have in the previous 23 against them. Wolves have picked up as many points in the last 6 Premier League games as they had in the previous 12 beforehand. They're looking to win consecutive matches in a competition for the 3rd time this season after doing so in November versus Southampton and Fulham and December versus Leicester and Manchester United. West Ham have won each of the last 3 Premier League games played in midweek. Not since May 2021 have they won 4 midweek league games in a row. And finally, Wolves' Premier League games this season have seen 98 goals, 40 for 58 against, the joint most of any club, alongside Tottenham Hotspur. Should this game against West Ham see more than 2 goals, 30 games will be the earliest inter-league campaign that Wolves has scored and conceded a combined 100 goals since 1985 to 86 in the 3rd tier, and earliest in the top flight 1967 to 68 season. So there we go. Now this game is really difficult to predict because West Ham right now are still below Everton and Tottenham, in the league. But if they do beat Wolves, and let's say that Everton, Tottenham, and Man United have lost their game, they'll be back to 14. So, and West Ham, have picked up a couple of good results in the last 5 games, but they have drawn against Everton in their last game. So I feel like for me, for this game, it's so difficult because I feel like this game might end in a draw for this one because Wolves are still a difficult team to be at home. But without Cunha, though, I feel like, yeah, because if Cunha was available, then I would have gone for Wolves win. But without him, this game screams for a draw, to be honest with you. So for that game, Wolves versus Wolves versus West Ham. I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go for 1-1 because to be honest with you, it's so difficult. It really is because I was thinking Graham Potter might get a win, but it's at Molineux still, and Wolves are looking to really stay up. So that's why it's going to be a tough game for both teams. But I think for me that this game might scream for a draw. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-1 on that one. So yeah, Wolves goal scorer, Wanky Chan for West Ham might go for Jared Bowen. So yeah, 1-1 draw between Wolves and West Ham United. So there we go on that one. All right, um, the next game, of course, is Arsenal versus Fulham in the London derby. So looking forward to that one, of course. The funny thing is that Arsenal have never beaten Fulham in the last 3 games. So there you go. But I feel like Arsenal need to bounce back because obviously they beat us, but look at the table right now. They are 12 points by Liverpool. So I don't like let's like also for me, I'm still not going to win this league. But let's say they beat Fulham and Liverpool start to drop points, then boy, then this could be very, very interesting indeed. But let's see what the stat says. So Arsenal have never lost in 31 home league games against Fulham, winning 24 and drawing 7. It's the most home games one side has played against each other without ever losing in English Football League history. So Fulham are unbeaten in the last 3 league games against Arsenal. Only once have the longest such one without a defeat against the Gunners, fall between May 2011 and November 2012. Arsenal have earned 20 points in the Premier League London derbies this season, more than any other side. Fulham, meanwhile, have won 4 league London derbies this term, only 1931-32, 1947-48, and 2000-2001, after one more in a single campaign in their Football League history. Arsenal have won seven of their Premier League games on April 1st by an aggregate score of 25-3. No team has a better 100% win record on a specific date in the competition's history. Chelsea also 7-7 on December the 3rd. And finally, Arsenal's Premier League games this season are averaging 23.6 shots per match, the lowest of any side in the competition this term. Meanwhile, Fulham ranked fourth lowest for this at 24.7 average shots per game. So there you go. Obviously, it's still disappointing for Fulham that they've lost, against Crystal Palace in the London derby, but they've been looking to remain unbeaten. If Fulham can do that, especially at the Emirates Stadium, especially against Arsenal, this would be the first time since 30 years ago that they're unbeaten in the last 4 against the Gunners. So there we go. Obviously, it was a draw at the Emirates Stadium. And then I believe last season they beat them 2-1. So, of course, Arsenal are looking to beat Fulham, and I think they will do so because Saka may not be available, but Arsenal are still looking to have hope of winning the title, even though it's well and truly over. So yeah, listen, I hate to say this, but I want Arsenal to win because if Fulham, beat Arsenal, which I don't think that's going to happen, there'll be 1 point behind Chelsea. And like I said before, the gap between fourth and 11th, let's say 10th, is only 5 points. So Man City, Newcastle, Brighton, Fulham, Aston Villa, and Bournemouth are the only teams here that are fighting for the Champions League. So that's what I'm hoping, that Arsenal can beat Liverpool. Sorry, that Arsenal can beat Fulham. And I think they'll do that. It's going to be a difficult game, but I feel like Arsenal will get the job done. So for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for an Arsenal 2-1 win, because it's going to be tough. I feel like Fulham will score the likes of Wow Jimenez, because he's on a good scoring form for Mexico. But I think also will get the job done. So yeah, I'm gonna go for an Arsenal 2-1 win. The goal scorers, Mika Moreno and probably Declan Rice. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal is gonna be my prediction for that game tomorrow. I'll be obviously I'll be happy for Fulham to beat Arsenal because they've never done so in their league history, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. So there we go. All right, the next game is Forest versus Manchester United. So those are the only games for excuse me, for Tuesday's game. So yeah, man, looking forward to that one. Of course, Nottingham Forest have beaten Brighton in the FA Cup, but Man United though they didn't play this weekend, so we're gonna have to, so yeah, this is gonna be interesting. So yeah, but let's have a look at this stat. So following their 3-2 win at Old Trafford in December, Nottingham Forest are looking to complete their first league double over Manchester United since 91-92 season under Brian Clough. Man United have lost their last two Premier League games against Nottingham Forest, more they had in the first 13 beforehand. Nottingham Forest won this exact situation 2-1 last season, last winning against Man United at the City Ground in consecutive league games in 98-99 and also 1989-90 season. For excluding nil-nil draws, the team scoring first has won 71% of Nottingham Forest games in the Premier League this season, a joint high ratio in the division. The Tricky Trees have gone 1-0 ahead, a league high 22 times in the Premier League this season, winning 50 of those in those occasions. However, they have gone on to lose 5 of the last 6 games they have conceded first in this term. And finally, after their 3-0 win at Leicester, Man United are looking to win back-to-back Premier League games for the first time and looking back-to-back away league games for the first time since winning 3 in a row in February 2024. The Red Devils are the only 3 sides yet to win consecutive Premier League fixtures this season, along with Ipswich Town and Southampton. So there you go. So to me, yeah, even though Man United have got plenty of rest, for me, Man United this season hasn't been that great because even though they're not that far off for European places, to me, they cannot get back-to-back wins. They just can't, as you saw from the stats. So you can hear the side saying 2-game challenge. Every time Man United lose, they draw. They win, they draw. They win, then you can possibly say they might draw against Nottingham Forest. So for this game, even though I like to see Man United beat Forest at the City Ground, for me that's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So because Man United this season have been up and down, up and down. And let's not forget, they're still in the Europa League, but I still don't think they're going to do that. I still think they're not going to do that. So let's see if Man United can win back-to-back games this season. Let's see. But it's at the City Ground. Many of the big 6 clubs hasn't gone there and win. Liverpool went there and drew. Tottenham went there and lost. Arsenal went there and drew. Is there anything else that I'm missing? Oh yeah, Man City went there, but also lost. So yeah. So let's see if Man United can be the only big 6 club that can go to the City Ground and win, which you all know that's not going to happen. So even though I'd like to see Man United win this game, I really don't think that's going to happen. So for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Forest to win, to be honest with you, because I just can't see a way that Man United are going to go there and win unless Man United play a low block, like a deep low block, and just hit them on a counter attack. Let's see if they can do that, but I don't think that's going to happen because Nuno Espirito de Santo has been a really good job this season. A potential Champions League and the FA Cup semi-final. So let's see how Ruben Amorim sets up, but I feel like Forest is going to win, unfortunately. So yeah, 2-1 to Forest. It's going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. The goal scorers for Man United, probably Bruno Fernandes, and not so Forest goal scorers. I'm going to go for Anthony Elanga and Chris Wood. So yeah, 2-1 to Nottingham Forest is going to be my prediction. Obviously, I'm hoping that it's going to be the other way around, but to be honest with you, I don't see that happening. I really don't. So there you go. So yeah, 2-1 to Forest is going to be my prediction for that game. All right, the next one is we move on into Wednesday's games. We've got Brighton versus Aston Villa. Of course, both teams did win. Did play in the FA Cup semi-final, but unfortunately, Brighton have lost, but Villa they've won just about. So they beat Preston North End 3-0 yesterday. So there you go. So yeah, congratulations to Villa, but congratulations to Brighton. But these two will be facing each other for the Premier League. So let's have a look at this stat. So Brighton have won just one of the last 5 Premier League home games against Aston Villa, though it did come in this exact fixture last season, which is 1-0 in May. After winning 5 consecutive Premier League games against Brighton between November 2011 and September 2023, Aston Villa are now winless in the last 2 against them. Brighton have won each of the last 3 Premier League games at the Amex Stadium and looking to win their last 4 home games in a row for the very first time in their top flight history. Aston Villa have won 2 of the last 3 Premier League games, as many they have in the previous 9 beforehand, while the Villains are looking to win back-to-back away games in the Premier League for the first time since winning their last 2 such ouches of this season. And finally, Brighton have scored at least 2 goals in each of their last 5 Premier League games. Never before in their top flight history have they done so in 6 consecutive matches, last scoring twice in more league games in a row in any division in April 2016 in the Championship. So there we go. Now looking at the table here, obviously as Villa on 45 points and Brighton on 47 points. So what I'm hoping for is for that game to be a draw, because if Brighton win their game, they'll go above us. I mean, they'll go above Chelsea, and I definitely don't want that to happen. They will go above Chelsea, but we have a game on Thursday, so there we go. And if Aston Villa win, they'll be 1 point behind Chelsea. So I'm hoping that this game ends in a draw. But to be honest with you, I see one team winning this game, and for me, yeah, I would love Villa to win. Don't get me wrong, because I don't want Brighton to be above Chelsea. So, but I'm just hoping that this game ends in a draw. That's what I'm hoping for. But it's so tough, It really is, because Brighton are unbeaten at home, but for Villa, they're starting to really pick up results. So for this game, I think my head is telling me to go for Villa win, because they're really good. And you can see that Marcus Rashford, every time he comes on, he makes an impact. And Marcus Asensio is scoring goals for Villa as well. And if you look at Villa, they've only lost 1 game. They did drew 2 times, but they've only lost 1 game. But for Brighton, they are the team that is on form. Of course, they did drew their last game, but I'm just hoping that that this game ends in a draw. But to be honest with you, I see Villa winning this game. So for this game on Wednesday, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Villa win, because what because of Rashford, essential as well. But not only that, actually, Sarsi is starting to do good for Aston Villa, so fair play to them. And Una Emery, is in the FA Cup quarterfinals, so Aston Villa as well is having a really good season. So I'm just hoping that this game ends in a draw, but I just see Aston Villa just winning this game just about. So yeah, 2-1 to Villa is going to be my prediction, unfortunately. For Brighton goal scorer, Mitoma. For Aston Villa, I'm going to go for Marco Asensio to score a brace. So yeah, 2-1 to Villa. It's going to be my prediction for that game on a Wednesday. So there we go. So it is what it is. I'm hoping that this game ends in a draw, but it's not going to happen. I see Villa winning this game. So yeah, 2-1 to Villa. It's going to be my prediction for that game on a Wednesday. Right. I'm going to leave out the Chelsea face Tottenham Hotspur game later on. But yeah, the next game, of course, is Manchester City versus Leicester City. Of course, Man City drew 2-2 against Brighton, at the Etihad Stadium. But for Leicester City, though, they did lose 3-0 against Man United. So Leicester City are facing another Manchester club. But this time it's away to Manchester City. So there we go. So let's have a look at this stat. So Man City have won 9 of the last 10 Premier League home games against Leicester, winning the last 6 in a row by anchor score of 15-4. None of Leicester's 12 Premier League games away league games against Man City have been drawn, with the Foxes winning 5 to City 7. Meanwhile, the 10 meetings between the pair at the Etihad Stadium in the competition have produced a total of 43 goals. Man City 25 and Leicester 18. Man City have won 21 of the last 20 Premier League games against money promotive opposition, including each of their last 12 in a row. The joint longest such winning one in top flight history, also 12 in a row from December 2009 to December 2011. Leicester City have lost 30 of their last 40 Premier League games. Their only win was against Tottenham Hotspur, including the last 6 in a row without scoring a single goal. In English top flight history, only 3 sides have ever lost more than 7 without scoring in succession. Sunderland 8, Ipswich 7, and Crystal Palace 8 in September 2017. And finally, Man City have won each of their last 30 Premier League games in April. Only Liverpool in December and Manchester United 15 times have they had longer wins in Pacific Month in the competition. So there we go. I hate to say this right now, but I feel like Man City is going to win. Oh, because Leicester City right now, if you look at their form, just been loss after loss after loss. And they even broke a record, especially at the King Power Stadium, for not only losing games in a row, but also not scoring as well, if you know what I mean. So even though I love Leicester City to go to Etihad and do something, don't think that's going to happen. Really don't think that's going to happen. So unfortunately, as a Chelsea fan, I have to go for City win. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Man City. I'm gonna go for 3-0 win because to me, I don't see where Man City, I don't see Leicester City scoring a game, and I don't see where they're gonna get, at least get something at the Etihad. So yeah, 3-0 to Man City is going to be about the prediction for that game. And let's not forget, they beat Bournemouth away from home just 2-1. And Nico Riley was the man of the match because he came on and got 2 assists. So there we go. So yeah, 3-0 to Man City. So yeah, the goals goes for City. I'm gonna go for Haaland to score a brace and Omar Marmoush to score a single goal. So yeah, 3-0 to City is going to be my prediction for that game on a Wednesday. So there we go. So yeah, the next game, of course, is Newcastle versus Brentford. Of course, Brentford beat Bournemouth, 2-1 at the Vitality Stadium. But for Newcastle, though, they're still celebrating for winning that Carabao Cup. Their first ever major English trophy for almost 70 years. So congratulations to Newcastle. Many people like celebrating over a Carabao Cup. But listen, they haven't won a trophy for almost 70 years, and this is the first ever major one. So yeah, so Newcastle, of course, they're looking to get back into the Champions League. So let's see how they do it. So yeah, Newcastle versus Brentford. So here comes the stats for that game. So Here we go. So, having lost their first ever home league match against Brentford 5-2 in September 1934, Newcastle are now beaten and lost 6 against them at St James's Park. Brentford have failed to win any of the last 6 Premier League games against Newcastle, but won their first fixture 4-2 back in December. Only 90, and that was the time where Brentford's home form was really good. Only in 94-95 season have they ever done the league double over the Magpies. Newcastle have won 9 of their last 30 Premier League games. This after only winning 5 of their last opening 50 matches of the season beforehand. Indeed, since the first game in this December 14th against Leicester, or Liverpool have one more Premier League wins than the Magpies coming into this match day. Brentford have won each of their last 5 Premier League away games, the longest winning one on the world of any side 20 this season. In the competition's history, only one side have won 6 consecutive away games in which they have begun the day outside of the top 10 in the table, with also doing so from December 2020 to May 2021. And finally, each of Brentford's first 7 Premier League wins this season came at the G-Tech Community Stadium. Since then, each of the last 5 league games have been away games. In the competition's history, on only 5 occasions has the side seen 6 consecutive wins, all come away from home. Most recently, Liverpool from December 2020 to April 2021. So there we go. So you're looking at the standings here. Newcastle right now on 47 points. But if they beat Brentford, they'll be above Chelsea. So Chelsea have to win their game against Tottenham on Thursday, but I'll get to that one in just a moment. But listen, I would love Brentford to go out there and do something, but I feel like Newcastle, will still be pumped after that Carabao Cup and it's St James Park as well. Even though Brighton got there and win, I feel like for me, it's still a difficult place to go to. So I would love for Brentford to go out there and at least, get to win or possibly a point, but I just don't really see that happening. So for this game on a Wednesday, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Newcastle win because Brentford are a really good team. They really are. And Newcastle and both teams do play low block. They really do. But I just feel like Newcastle are going to get there because I feel like I'm not sure if Anthony Gordon is still available. Let me just have a look. I feel like he should be available for that game. But let me just see, because I know he wasn't available for the what you call it, for the Liverpool game. Let me just have a look. So yeah, let me just see. Okay, no, he's not going to be available for the Newcastle game, but he will be available for the Leicester City game. So yeah, all right. So he won't be available, but Alexander Isak is still fit and he's doing a fantastic job in his goal scoring form. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Newcastle United win. Goal scorers, obviously, Dan Burn to score, and Isak to score. For Brentford goal scorer, I'm going to go for and Brentford to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Newcastle. Tough, but I think Newcastle are just about get the job done. So there we go on that one. All right, the next one is Southampton versus Crystal Palace, of course. Southampton, lost 2-1 against Wolves. For Palace, they did play on the FA Cup weekend and they did beat Fulham, the London Derby by 3 goals to 0. And like I said, congratulations to them. They're in the FA Cup semi-final. And like I said before as well, they've never ever won a major trophy. So congratulations to Palace. But yeah, it's just basically 20th versus 12th. So there we go. But here's the stats for that game. Crystal Palace going away to Southampton. So Southampton have lost their last 2 Premier League home games against Crystal Palace, as many defeats they've suffered in their first 21 top-flight home meetings with the Eagles. Crystal Palace have won their last 4 Premier League games against Southampton, as many they had in their first 25 against them in the competition beforehand. Southampton have lost each of the last 9 Premier League home games. In English top flight history, the only sides to endure a longer home losing ones without a single season are Birmingham and Watford. Crystal Palace have won each of the last 3 Premier League games. The Eagles last won 4 in a row in the competition from February to June 2020 under Roy Hodgson. Crystal Palace are unbeaten in their last 9 Premier League in their last 9 away league games, just one short their longest ever unbeaten one on the world in the league history of 10 matches, achieved 4 times previously, in April 1979 in the second tier. The Eagles have also won their last 4 Premier League away games. Only in February 2004 in the second tier have they ever won 5 away league games in a row. Well, they're about to do so. They're about to win 5 away games in a row because Southampton right now are just simply terrible. Yes, there's only 8 games to go, but I tell you what, if Southampton keep losing games, they'll be one of the worst Premier League teams in history, because Derby County is still one of the worst. One of the worst ones, because they got 11 points, but if Southampton, keep on losing games because they're still on 9 points, they'll be breaking the new record, which is low, which is not a good one. So there you go. So yeah, Southampton right now, they're just terrible. And I see Crystal Palace going out there and get to win and keep a clean sheet, because Crystal Palace have have won games while also keeping a clean sheet. So that's good for them. So I see them keeping another clean sheet. So for this game on Wednesday, I'm gonna go for a Crystal Palace win of let's go for 3-0 again. Let's go for 3-0. So yeah, 3-0 to Crystal Palace. Goals. I'm gonna go for Philemon to score a brace, and Ebenezer Eze to score a single goal as well. So yeah, 3-0 to Palace. I don't see Southampton scoring, so yeah, 3-0 to Palace. They're gonna be happy and still excited that they're through to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So, but Southampton go, yeah, I don't see them get to the win in this game. So yeah, 3-0 to Crystal Palace for that game on a Wednesday. And then we move on into the Merseyside derby, which didn't happen. Which the last game it happened was on let's see. Let me just have a look. Yeah, the last Merseyside derby was the last Merseyside derby. I mean, yeah, the last Merseyside derby was on February the 12th, 2025, and it was a 2-2 draw. And I remember the goal scorer, the Corey, got a red card. No, not the goal scorer. So yeah, but the Corey got a red card. Curtis Jones got a red card, and Andre Slot got a red card. And yeah, 2-2 draw in that game. But yeah, man, Merseyside derby, of course. Liverpool are looking to bounce back after their Carabao Cup defeat against Newcastle. But Everton, though, they are looking, they are still unbeaten under David Moyes, but it's only been a couple of draws. They've drawn 4 times in a row. So Everton are looking to go from a draw to a win. So there we go. But yeah, let me look at the stats for this game as well. So Liverpool have won their last 3 Premier League home games against Everton, each by 2-0 scoreline. The last one, they've lost one more consecutive home league Merseyside derbies between 1999 to 94, while they've never done so without conceding. Following a 2 to draw at Goodison Park in the first fixture, Everton are looking to avoid defeat in both Premier League meetings with Liverpool for the first time under Carlo Ancelotti when they've won 2-0 at Anfield and drawn 2-2 at Goodison Park, but don't think that's going to happen. Same thing that's happened this season. Liverpool have just lost one of the last 24 Premier League home games against Everton, winning the last 5 of the 6 at Anfield. 26 of the 65 Premier League meetings between Everton and Liverpool have been drawn, with only Chelsea and Man United finishing level with more often the competition 27 times. Indeed, Everton have drawn more Premier League matches than any other side this season, 13, including each of the last 4 in a row, like I said before. And finally, Everton versus Liverpool has produced more red cards than any other fixture in their Premier League history, with the top 17 red cards against the Red, also the most one team has ever against the Red teams, also the most one team has against another in the competition. The Corey Everton and Cody Schultz both sent off late in the reverse fixture in February. Also, Andrew Slaughter was got a red card as well. For this game though, of course, Liverpool certainly looking to bounce back because of that Carabao Cup defeat. But before that, Trent Alexander-Arnold, we heard last week that him going to Real Madrid could confirm, because obviously Trent is still not yet signing the extension. So, and we know the rules. If you don't sign extension at the end of your contract, you could, and many other clubs could sign those players for free. And like the same goes for Virgil van Dijk and Mo Salah. So let's see, man. Let's see. But yeah, Trent going to Real Madrid could happen, but we don't know just yet. But we have to wait and see. But in terms of this game, Liverpool need to win this game. They need to, because this is the only trophy that they can win this season, because they lost against Plymouth in the FA Cup. They lost in the Champions League against PSG on penalties in the 1 of 16. Then they've lost to Newcastle in the Carabao Cup final. So this is the only major trophy that they have to win. Liverpool cannot keep dropping points. So I still think Liverpool going to win this league. But if they keep on losing their heads and keep dropping points, then boy, the pressure is on, man. The pressure is on, especially for these players. So, but for me, even though I feel like this game's for a draw, I feel like Liverpool at Anfield, it's going to be very difficult for Everton. So I feel like David Moore is going to suffer his first defeat ever since his first Premier League game against Aston Villa. So yeah, for this game on Wednesday, I might be able to do a watch along. Actually, I won't be able to because actually I think I might do. Yeah, I might do. Yeah, I can do a watch along with that one. So yeah, make sure you guys tune into that one. Yeah, Liverpool versus Everton. I'm certainly going to be doing a watch along. So yeah, 8 p.m. kickoff. So yeah, Liverpool versus Everton for that game. I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Liverpool win, because it is gonna be really tough. But because this game is at Anfield, and Everton have only won once at Anfield, which is 4 years ago. Yeah, I just still don't see them winning. So yeah, David is going to be Sophie's first defeat, and I know that looking at this table, right? Looking at this table, West Ham, Tottenham, and Man United will be hopeful that Liverpool can win, because if Everton, let's say they do beat Liverpool, Everton will go from 16th to 13th. If Man United, Tottenham, West Ham lose their games, so there you go. So yeah, I feel like Everton will stay up, but particularly this game at Anfield, yeah, I don't see them winning this. So yeah, 2-1 to Liverpool. They need to bounce back. They really need to. Everton's only goal scorer, probably to Colway. For Liverpool, I'm gonna go for Mo Salah to get a goal and an assist. And I'm gonna go for probably Cody Gap actually, yeah, Cody Gakpo for Liverpool if he does start. So yeah, 2-1 to Liverpool is going to be my prediction for that game on a Wednesday. So there we go. Right. Now I'm gonna leave out the Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur prediction because I'm gonna save that one for when I'm doing a preview um on tomorrow. So sorry on a Wednesday. So make sure you guys tune in. So make sure you guys check that out. So I'm gonna leave that one on a Wednesday when I'm doing the preview. But yeah, let me just go through the predictions one more time. So Tuesday's games. So I went for an Arsenal 2-1 win against Fulham. Forest 2-1 win against Manchester United and a 1-1 draw between Wolves and West Ham United. Then on Wednesday's games, I've gone for 3-1 Bournemouth win against Ipswich Town, a 2-1 Aston Villa win against Brighton, then a 3-0 Man City win against Leicester, a 2-1 Newcastle win against Brentford, a 3-0 Palace win against Southampton, and then finally a 2-1 Liverpool win in the Merseyside derby against Everton. So that is my prediction for game week number 30. So do let me know in the comments down below whether you agree or disagree with any of my predictions. And if you got your predictions, let me know in the comments down below. So yeah, like I said, I'll save the Chelsea fans Tottenham prediction for when I'm doing the preview on a Wednesday. So yeah, make sure you guys don't miss out of that one. But yeah, man, the Premier League is back. 8 more days to go. Honestly, time flies, tomorrow is the first day of April, or as we like to April Fool's Day. So only 8 games to go. Man, these games are coming in thick and fast. But time flies when you're having fun, right? As they always used to say. So there we go. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, if you are new, hit the subscribe button below. Make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the bonus notifications so that you never ever miss excuse me, any of my content. And make sure you share this video to all your friends and your family so that they can join in and watch the video and also give their predictions as well. So whether you're a Chelsea fan, Liverpool fan, or whatever fan you are, it doesn't really matter. You're welcome to join this channel and, able to chat to me, communicate with me as many times as you like. And if I see any comments, I will respond to them as soon as I can. But yeah, man, the Premier League is back. 8 more days, 8 more games to go. Let's see who will be finishing in the Champions League. Let's see if Arsenal can catch up to Liverpool. And let's see if any of Leicester or Ipswich Town can stay up. Only one of them can, but let's see who will with 8 more games to go. So I'm looking forward to the next 8 games. So yeah, but the one that is most going to be talking about is the battle for the Champions League. So let's see who get it. Let's see who get it. Hopefully it's Chelsea, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Look after yourselves. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And as always, peace.